The world is full of invisible lines, borders that divide countries, guide trade, and dictate politics. But there's one line you've probably never seen on a map, and it shapes the world in ways few people truly understand: the North South Divide. This isn't a physical boundary like a river or a mountain range, but an economic and social concept. In essence, the North South Divide separates the developed, wealthier countries of the Northern Hemisphere, like the United States, Canada, and most of Europe, from the less developed, poorer countries primarily found in the Southern Hemisphere, including much of Africa, Latin America, and South Asia. But here's the twist: it isn't strictly defined by geography. Australia and New Zealand, for example, are located in the Southern Hemisphere but are considered part of the global North due to their high levels of development and economic influence. How did this divide come to be? It's a story of history, resources, and power. Much of the disparity traces back to the age of exploration and colonization. Nations like Portugal, Spain, Britain, and France carved up enormous swathes of Africa, the Americas, and Asia, extracting vast amounts of wealth in the form of gold, spices, crops, and human labor. The Industrial Revolution that followed only deepened the gap as the colonizing nations used these resources to develop advanced economies, leaving the colonized regions economically and socially hollowed out. But the legacy of colonization wasn't just an economic head start. It ingrained patterns of global trade that we still see today. Many countries in the global South became dependent on exporting raw materials, coffee, oil, minerals, while the global North specialized in processing these materials and manufacturing finished products. This imbalance meant that wealth kept flowing in one direction, northward. Fast forward to the modern era, and these patterns persist. The data is striking. The 20 richest countries in the world account for more than 80% of global wealth, while the poorest 20 are stuck with less than 1%. Access to education, healthcare, and technology remains drastically unequal, with billions of people in the global South lacking basic resources like clean water or electricity. But here's the thing: this divide is not unchangeable. The rise of countries like China, India, and Brazil as economic powerhouses demonstrates that nations in the global South can shift the balance. Through technological innovation, trade alliances, and education reforms, they're challenging the historical advantages of the global North. The question now is, can the world bridge this divide? Or will the invisible line between North and South continue to shape our future? One thing is certain: to address many of the world's challenges, from climate change to inequality, understanding and addressing the North-South divide will be crucial.